So in my dream last night, as I was waking up, I felt like I was the same place I had been yesterday. I mean, it doesn't look exactly the same, but it has that feeling of where it's as much outdoors as it is in. It's not far from trees and mountains. It's more country than city. There's a certain amount of space. The difference is it also seems to have caves this time.
Have what?
Caves. I'm aware that there's caves around there. And it feels like occasionally I'm even talking to someone else. And yesterday I had spent about an hour just listening to the sounds of someone playing when like they hit a gong on different bowls and the different sounds they make with that, as well as a few other instruments. So in my dream, it feels like there's two bowls that I have. I don't see one bowl really clearly. It's probably just a brass bowl. The other seems to be, which I've never seen before, but it seems to be a huge pink crystal bowl, but one of those really large ones, like 3 feet tall and probably wide and more straight up as opposed to like curved out, because it's made out of this pink quartz. It's made out of pink quartz. And I've never really heard one like that before. And there's something where I'm interested in the sound, but I don't know if anybody else knows what the sound is either. So it feels like I'm looking for someone that knows how to play that sound. So I'm searching around all the time. And this search, in a sense, even interferes with my really being able to interact with other people, because it's a sound that I'm looking for as opposed to wanting to talk to people. So there's this like search going on, and then I have these two bowls nearby. And there might sometimes be some dialogue, and other times there's just times that I'm listening for a certain sound. And that was my dream.
So yesterday you're describing your condition to be what kind of not able to break free or break out of something?
It didn't feel like not being able to break free or break out. It's more like I was really focused on hearing something. And I didn't know where to go to hear it.
Overwhelmed by the environment that you're in. Yeah. And having a sense that you can take yourself into a whole new whereabouts. And that there is something that you're meant to hear that you're not hearing that naturally facilitates the process. Yesterday you felt that you needed to hear something, right?
Yeah,
and then
I did.
Last night you dreamed that you're able to take a step because you can now bring it through. You can now hear it, right?
I don't know whether I hear it yet. I'm seeking out someone that knows how to play it.
Close.
Yeah, I've got the bowl.
You're close. Yeah. Even though you're telling this now in a nonchalant way, that was pretty intense, wasn't it?
It was, because I've never even seen a really large quartz bowl, like rose quartz, like I was looking at,
Yet you have to somehow do it, because if you don't hear what you're meant to hear, you're vulnerable. And hearing has to do with letting go.
Okay.
It's similar to my last sleep dream. In this sleep dream, I have somehow gotten myself into a condition in which everything I have, all my wealth, and which is in cash, and all kinds of papers of this, that, and the other that are to be sorted out or to be dealt with in some capacity way, and I'm prepared to do that capacity way. But how do I do that in the environment that I'm in? I'm staying in a flop house, and as I look around, I have to maintain a pretty good disguise about myself, because I don't want anyone into this environment to suspect that I'm a prime target to rip off. And as I look around, I'm not sure where I can even hide anything. Should I have to step out? And yet what I have to do before I can leave is just to get picked up and rounded up enough so that when I go to take this next step, I'll be able to pull it all together. So again, am I trying to listen to something or trying to see something? It's hard to say. But in the environment I'm in, everything is against me. In that my hope is that I can go in, because I know this from some part deep inside, that I can go to some level deep inside and make the shift. Although in the dream, I struggle with how I'm going to be able to pull this out, because it seems so overwhelming. The environment seems so dire that the question is, can I even think straight to do this? Now, in my grogginess and sleep state there, I don't get much help in that regard, but I sense that this focus and attention that I'm going to need is of utmost importance. And I don't belong under the conditions that I'm in and under, environmentally speaking, to make a difference or to break through. But there is a sense that I carry that I have to give it a go. Just like in your case, the difference is that you have to be able to hear the sound that puts you in a place within inside of yourself so that things fall away, right? It's also a technique that Maharaji used to teach, where you would learn to listen to the sound inside yourself. To do so, you had to stop your mind senses. Or I should say, your mind, you couldn't be within your mind sense orientation, caught up in this or that, and do this sort of thing at the same time. You had to adhere to this aspect of yourself as if a kind of guidance. And within these techniques that were taught, it involved how to listen, how to see, what to taste, and thus then, if you're able to master those things as if they are an adverb, that takes you into the all-encompassing part or essence, or in this case called the Word, meaning not the Bible or anything, but the Word being that one thing and only thing that is behind all that has come to be. So that was kind of my sleep dream. Last one. In the sleep dream, I'm staying in a flop house, panicking to get everything I possess rounded up to leave. This involves not just my affairs, but the affairs of others, of another anyway. It's fallen on me to do. I don't know how I'm going to do it, and I have way too much to deal with. I am a good target in such an environment for robbery. It's so dire. But I'm also pretty good at maintaining a kind of disguise like I belong here. Or I guess I've gotten caught up into the atmosphere like I do, because that whole thing kind of keeps me stupid. I'm careful to not let anyone suspect, because I'm vulnerable and easy to rob. Everything I have is on me. I have to somehow make a shift, gather things in a nonchalant appearing way, not draw attention to myself, I don't know how I'm going to overcome such a environment that is steeped in obstacle miserableness. Because if I remain and don't get poised and at ease, I'll never break out of this. I'm tranced out. The meditation dream, all I can say is I wake up from it saying, I am not willing to make any compromises. As a result, I guess I suffer and don't know what I'm suffering about and what to do about it. Nor do I remember any details. Then I come to bed, and in the sleep dream, I am in a scenario where everyone here contends with conditions that cause their demeanor to be pent up. In other words, overwhelmed, weighed down. Again, similar to what you're trying to break free in the letting go, listening aspect of things. Letting go and listening go hand in hand. In my case, I appear to be seeing how far I can go without choking to death. Creating a Nepal, I have swallowed 2 small clamps, one small and one little larger, knowing that they're going to get stuck in my throat. The challenge is, can I barf them out before this kills me, or I rupture internally? Because you can't digest them. Well, to my surprise, the larger clamp I'm able to get out, and the little clamp didn't go all the way down my throat where it would rupture me. And I'm shocked about that. And so it's almost like I deserve some sort of prize that I actually pulled this off. So the meaning is, or I should say afflictive conditions vary. Well, they have an atmosphere about them, as it was shown, that keeps one strung out or lost in an extremism. It is as if the environment caters, stays, in other words, in this misbehavior way or unconscious mannerism, and that we then are inclined to report irrationally, thinking the way we're reporting proves something. The hope is in each scenario I can find something more than just a rapport, because if not, pent up is more than I'm able to face, because that doesn't go anywhere. Those are all bifurcations. What is more entrenched and more unconscious in this dream is averted. I haven't swallowed the small clamp, in other words. I'm able to barf up mind, sense, controlling demeanor. Barf it up or digest it even, or extricate it, or remove it, or let go, or however you'd say. So that's what I kind of dreamt. And each dream went progressively. First is I'm not willing to compromise. Second is I'm subjecting myself to a kind of pain and anguish that is going to kill you. And third, in an attempt to redeem myself, I have set myself up as a prime target for assault. But know that there is a potential shift that can happen, although I have no idea how to quite pull this off, given the environmental conditions that are wherever I turn. So what do you call this? Environmental conditions?
Okay.
I mean, is that true of yours too? Environmental conditions, you need to hear something? Or do you call it, in my case, it's more of a type of bringing the seeing down and through.
Yeah,
I have a sense of the seeing, but it also includes because we need to be complete in all regards. It also includes the letting go. And you have the letting go. In the letting go is where the listening center is at. Getting caught up in the environment of things is where seeing comes in. The seeing is of a time-shaped way, and it's out-breath. And the letting go and the listening is an in-breath to the spatiality. So what do you call it? Seeing and hearing?
You know, it's funny. In mine, I think there was a seeking.
That's right. There is a seeking.
Yeah, I would use seeking as a word because it's like I have the bowl there. It's this huge bowl, but I don't know how to play it. It's like I'm seeking the place or the person that can show me how to play or that can play it. I just want to hear the sound.
Seeking is a good way of describing what we did because you're doing it with a sense as well that involves listening and letting go. And mine is a kind of a seeking too, but I'm stupid in the environment that I'm in, the overwhelmed. I seem to put myself in those kinds of environments. I remember when I left the Houston ashram and came back to the Pacific Northwest, I had opened up something about myself so things didn't touch me as usual. And I move into this flop house, and I first have a corner room. And although I wasn't robbed or anything, now I have distinct memories from wherever and however of how easy it is to be torn to pieces and robbed. You know, in other words, when you're absolutely, totally vulnerable, totally unprotected. But in this flop house, all that I noticed was I could somehow make it walking down the hallway because it stank so bad. And that people were in really, really bad shape, would die in this place. And across the hall from me, maggots crawled out from under a door, so I knew there was a dead person in there. And they finally figured out how to burn the place down. They caught it afire, these people. And the Red Cross came to the rescue. Although I wouldn't accept what they had to offer because I didn't see myself that way, even though they saw me that way. The fact that I was in such a place. So I guess you could say that that's a misguided seeking of energy, environmentally limited seeking. You're doing this through a listening, and I'm doing this through a type of holding on to what I think I see and perceive and hold about myself.